If you clicked on this video, wait. Okay, much better. Anyways, well, if you clicked on this video, you may already know what has happened. But if you didn't, Imamori, known for playing Suno Ikizawa, has been fired from her agency, and as a result is just gone from the show. Like the trailers and opening for episode 37 in the show of episode 37, she's just gone. Trailers just been cut. Opening, anytime she would be there, replaced by GozyuUnicorn, or you know, any moments with her would be replaced. It even shows like parts of the episode than showing anything with her, and some of the parts with her replaced by just mecha transformations, and any moment of her in the show just covered up somehow, some way, somehow. And when I heard this, I was like, holy damn, because all I wanted to do was just say, hey, let's see what's happening on episode 38. No, there was no episode 38. And secondly, her actor's fired. I'm like, holy shit. But also it's 11 p.m. I'm gonna get some sleep, wake up in the morning. Now I'm fully rested. Let's get into it, which is first of all, the reasoning of her firing, which based on just hearing it, I just thought she quit. But no, she committed a crime, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the worst crime imaginable. I want you to guess now. Is it A, murder? Is it B, arson? Is it C, sexual assault? Or is it D, some random crime you never thought existed in Japan but for some reason exists? That is so weird, but it happened and it's weird. And if you thought it was any of those, you would be wrong, because it is underage drinking. Yep, the entire firing was because she took alcohol 1 year too early, because the context is that Japan's legal drinking age is 20 and she was only 19. And like, listen, I know laws exist for a reason, but at the same time, her getting fired for this, like at that point they might as well just execute her, give her the death penalty for jaywalking. And the fact that they had to make a whole apology for this, and if we had no context, you would just think, you know, she just committed the worst crime imaginable. But because of this, now we have speculation now, which is what happens next. And I have a couple ideas of what could happen next. Since the actress has been cut from the latest episode, which is 37 as I'm recording this, there is no preview for episode 38, and that probably means Toei is all over the office. It's like, holy shit, we fired her, she is fired, and we need to fix our shit because this is bad. And since this is around episode 37, this is around like 3/4 of an average Super Sentai season, so which usually end around like late 40s to like around 50, episode 50. So because of that, there's some possibilities of what they can do. And the first one, which is just straight up the worst case scenario, which is, yeah, we just get rid of her. She just either killed or just disappears or something, and we just never mention it. Like the elephant in the room that no one talks about. And the reason why I think that is very unlikely is because if it was any Gozyuger, maybe. But this is GozyuUnicorn, the only woman in the group, which the fact that it's the only woman on the team being just gone, it would just be bad for the show, especially because imagine being the only woman and just disappearing as just a bunch of guys by the end of the show. And the other reason is because as of now, we're getting the power-ups now of Tegasaur forms that we have gotten for both Gozu Wolf, Gozu Leon, and Gozu Eagle, who've already gotten their forms. Meanwhile, the other two, Tyranno and Unicorn, haven't. And because of this, it would just be weird if they just said, yeah, the other four get it. Unicorn says she's gone, she doesn't get it. And they already advertised it, so I feel like that's very unlikely that just happened. So as a result, I have ideas of what they could do from there. Because if they do bring her, what are they going to try and do with the character? Which they're going to probably get rid of her one way or another. But my first idea is have just the character, but in the suit with an actress taking the role of GozyuUnicorn and having the suit be used for the rest of the show. But I feel like that's also unlikely, because if they do that, there's only so much you can do in the suit, and they have done this before with like little cameos here and there, but this is like the actual Gozyuger, the main characters, and it would just be horrible, I feel like, for doing. And the next one, I feel like, is that what they will probably do is get someone else to become GozyuUnicorn, because they already done this in episode 29 with Ryugi losing his powers of his ring of Gozu Tyranno. Someone else takes his place, Assam from the planet or whatever with T Brits, and becomes the new Tyranno for a couple of episodes before disappearing. Well, actually one episode and then disappears. Then Ryugi comes back, takes the ring, becomes him again. But this is more of a story thing. This is a whole firing scenario, so because of this they might do this as well. But I feel like there's a better idea, a better one in case, which is taking a character who's already in the show and making them become the Gozyuger. GozyuUnicorn in this case. And the question is, who will become GozyuUnicorn? Firstly, let's eliminate all the other Gozyugers from our potential candidates, because it'd just be weird to take one of the guys and make them become GozyuUnicorn. Secondly, very unlikely, because, you know, they're all men. Would be bad to have the only woman be replaced by a guy. And listen, they may have done the cross-dressing episode that was very creepy, but it doesn't count in this scenario. But now that we have removed all of the guys from the lineup, let's get to the most important part: the goddamn women. And next up is actually one of the villains, in this case Bouquet. This may be a little bit of a stretch, but it's possible, because I would say throughout the show that she's kind of 50-50 on who she aligns with. Because yes, she says she's in Brighton, but at the same time she is very, very down bad for Ryokuro, Gozu Leon. And I think at this point she does know, I think, maybe, I'm not sure myself, I don't remember. But in this case, if she were to become GozyuUnicorn, it would be kind of interesting, because it would be a war of her mind between her loyalty to Brighton or her love for Ryokuro. And I feel like it's possible she would go for Ryokuro and maybe become GozyuUnicorn. But I feel like that isn't as likely. Maybe she will go for Ryokuro, but at the same time, she might not become GozyuUnicorn. She may join the Gozyugers, but not become a Gozyuger, if you will. However, I save this one for last, because this candidate that I have in mind is so perfect and so much better, especially from the story as of now. And that is Oto Ikusawa, aka Sonyo's little sister. And it's so perfect in every way, because firstly, it's a character we have seen numerous times on the show, though I will say most of the time in a coma. But despite that, she's already related to Sumino, not only from a story perspective, but a literal sense in the show. And who better to take up the mantle of GozyuUnicorn than the sister of the original GozyuUnicorn? And this is very coincidental timing of the controversy of this, that has her fired, her actress Maya being replaced. Because as of now, Sumino has saved her sister with the help of the Gozyugers. And despite still being in a coma, it was after testing the Shinkenja ring. But maybe that is what they might do. Maybe the reason why is maybe the Shinkenja ring isn't what is needed to wake her from her coma, but rather the thing that needs to wake her up is the GozyuUnicorn ring. So maybe Sumino will either lose or die and suffer the same fate as her sister in some way. Maybe she'll disappear into another planet kind of thing. Maybe she'll just die. And when that happens, all that will be left is her ring. And when that happens, the ring will fly into the air beyond the stars and stuff and go to the hospital where Oto is in a comatose state, get into her finger and wake up. She finds out what is happening. She's like, I need to avenge my sister. And when that happens, she takes the ring and becomes GozyuUnicorn, and in that case becomes Sword GozyuUnicorn. And that would be perfect. Who better yet to take up the mantle than the sister? Sumino, who has been trying episode after episode after episode, trying to save and find her sister for all this. And when she dies or goes missing, it's all up to her sister. The roles are being reversed. Instead of Sumino looking for Oto, trying to save Oto, it is now Oto who will find, save, avenge, whatever, for Sumino. And that is where we end it. And before I end this, I will say that I also don't normally do Toku stuff, despite the fact that I'm literally named after Lupin X. But I don't really do Toku stuff on my channel. However, I am streaming, hopefully this time, Dispatch episodes 7 and 8, maybe this week. Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, one of those days. And hey, if you like this video, maybe like and subscribe. I do some funny stuff, and hey, you can look at the VODs. And if you like the VODs, maybe give it a shot, give it a like, comment, subscribe, for all I care. And honestly, better yet, if you think my ideas, my thoughts are dog damn it terrible, I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think will happen to GozyuUnicorn? Will she get replaced? Will she just disappear? Will someone take up her mantle? I don't know. We don't know. But I would love to hear your thoughts of what you think will happen next. Because this is just very, very surprising to me. Even yesterday and still today, I'm just surprised. But I would love to hear your thoughts about it. I keep saying it over and over. But if you watch this, thank you very much. I'm not normally doing this, but it was fun and enjoyable to do, despite the terrible, terrible situation. And like, comment, subscribe, and furthermore, adieu.